couple years ago, an animation called My Little Goat, not to be confused with My Little Pony, came out maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. It's a Japanese short film. It's a stop motion. It's very good looking. You've probably seen it, and if you're watching this video, I would, if you haven't somehow watched the short, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's on YouTube with English and Spanish subtitles, so everyone can understand it. It's loosely based off a fairy tale that it follows a lot of similar plot beats, but it sort of adds a little bit to it. We'll get into that, but basically, if you watch the short, you know a lot of the fairy tale. It's kind of, think of this like the expanded version. I'm not going to recap everything about the plot, because one, I'm not very good at that, and two, I want you to watch it yourself. I'm not some kind of analytical genius, but to give the super basic rundown of the story, for whatever reason you don't want to rewatch it, listen to this video. It starts off with like an anthropomorphic mother goat and her baby goat, and there's a wolf, like a giant monstrous wolf asleep, and she like cuts open in this really memorable open shot, she like cuts open the wolf's stomach, and inside she like starts pulling out her children who aren't dead, but a lot of them are partly digested. And at the end, after she seems like she pulled them all out, she realized she can't find one. As it pans out, it was revealed that one of her children was unfortunately digested and killed inside the wolf's stomach. Next shot, you see the mother goat, as some time passed, bring this boy into her shack, like where all of her kids live, including herself. And basically everything after that is about, initially, after she leaves, this like little boy who's dressed kind of like a goat, but he's not a goat, he's a human. He doesn't actually talk, really. All the other goats don't think he's really a goat. Well, they kind of debate it, but mainly one of them particularly doesn't. And over the like a little bit of the film, you kind of see them not trust him immediately, and then they do kind of trust him, especially in the scene where he like reveals himself to be a human and not a goat. Not that he's ever trying to deceive them, because he's just in a goat costume. I don't really say why he's in a goat costume. It could be a little symbolic for something you see later. Anyway, after they all kind of get together and start liking each other, you see so it seems like the wolf is here, and all of the goats hide except for the boy, and he doesn't know what to do, and eventually it's revealed that the wolf at the door was actually the boy's father, and the father comes in, he hugs the boy. It seems like it's okay for a second, until the father starts to get weirdly predatory, and in a transformation scene, kind of, it's revealed that the father is the wolf. It's kind of not sure if it's like symbolic or, I mean, it's definitely symbolic, because you see like scenes where he's untransformed as a human, but it's sort of weird. And basically, like, when it seems like, long story short, it seems like the father's gonna like rape his son. Like, the little goats come out and they defend the boy, but unfortunately they're too weak to defend him. And just in time, the mother comes home before the father can do anything, and she tasers him. And at the end, they fill his stomach with rocks, and they dump the father slash the wolf into the into basically a pond slash lake river or something. And at the end, they're all kind of like a family together. Little goats, the mama and the boy, and all the little goats are wearing cute little costumes, and they look very happy and bright. And you kind of get this slightly avant-garde ending where the mother goat is leaving, and you can see like the father's shoe pop up from the lake. He's now dead. It has been for a while. You hear helicopters in the distance, like it's kind of like the father was a real human, and the police are somehow looking for him because he went missing, and also the boy probably missing too. And that's the end of the short. I have to say, I watched it years ago. When I watched it, I was like super struck by it. You know, it's like I was like, whoa. You know, it was like it kind of like shocking almost. Like it's kind of like passed off like this super shocking, gory thing. But it wasn't really so much gory. It was more so upsetting and gothic. But I kind of wish I watched it when I was younger. It would have really left an impact. That's for sure. I gotta say, first off the bat, before I say anything negative at all, that I think this story, it's like really well done. It really like goes off the original story, but more like adds to it, and I really like adaptations like that. You know, I think that's the best way to go. Also, the animation is gorgeous. I love the character designs; they look so fluffy and cute. You know, I think the wolf has just the right levels of creepy, and the gore, especially the opening, is just like whoa. You know, it has like such a woo opening. You know what I mean? And I think the mother's design is super cute. You know, she's very marketable, plushy, like Animal Crossing, just like a little more anthropomorphic. And really cute. There's something like almost kind of deviant art about it, because like makes me think of like when I was on DeviantArt as a kid, like people make almost like stories like that. They were like had child-friendly elements, but they always had like these disturbing, weird stuff in it with marketable characters. It's kind of weird, but I will say, I'm just gonna like come right out the bat and get to my biggest criticism of the film and why I don't necessarily share around. And you're gonna have to let me explain this, but I really, really don't like the pedophilic element in this short. Now listen, it's not because I don't want to see pedophilia or super dark topics in media. Listen, I'm like, okay, listen, I thought that the 2010 remake of Nightmare on Elm Street making Freddy Krueger a pedophile was actually a good decision. Okay, well, you gotta understand. Like I've written like tons of stories, and like 2 of them I think had like pedophilic elements in it. You know, I'm not like shying away from intense scenes, you know, and like stuff like that. But I think it wasn't so well handled in this. First of all, I feel like the story, like the fairy tale itself, kind of has a pedophilic element in the sense that it's about child predators, you know, and that could be any kind of child predator. So I don't really think you had to make an explicit pedophilic thing. It's like embedded in stories like this inherently. Thing number 2, I think it's like way too on the nose, and because like, okay, maybe it wasn't so like on the nose and like pointing it to people in Japan, because you gotta understand Japan's a more high trust society than the West. Most any country in the West is really. I'm not trying to say that Japan's better than America or anything like that. I'm just being honest. Japan's a very high trust society, and they probably don't deal with pedophiles that often. So I'm sure maybe the idea of a seemingly loving father is more shocking in an Asian country, but in America, yeah, and you know, it's less of a shocking twist. You know, the seemingly nice guy is a pedophile. And my biggest problem with it is that I really feel like it's just a little too graphic. Like the scene of like the father when he's transformed into a wolf and like pulled the shirt off his son. It's like way too. It's a little much. Wow. I know. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't run. It should be upsetting. It should like push buttons a little bit. I'm not saying it should be banned or anything like that. I'm not crazy. I thought it was a little much, but I will admit that the scene like when he like starts growling and he like grabs, like when he's still a human form, and he like grabs his son's shirt with his teeth and shakes him, you know, like a dog. That's a good visual, you know. I think it like looks really good, and I think that was a little symbolic. I wish it was more like that. And I really liked the mother defending her children and the boy, you know, because who doesn't want to see a scene of a mom defending her kid, you know, and nothing more beautiful than motherly love. So that's really good, and I really like the provocative ending, you know, with the helicopter noises. I thought that was badass. I thought that was super cool. So overall, the short's great, by the way. So that's just my critique, and you're allowed to disagree. You know, it's an open discussion. You know, this isn't a negative video.
If any of you like this short, but are looking for more interesting artworks out there, I will leave a quick list of things you can watch, and also read if you want, in both the description and the pinned comment. So anyway, that's all for today. This has been your faithful servant, Baptism on Fire.
Like, I would rank this like a 9 or an 8 out of 10, especially the opening. Oh my god, the opening's so good. But anyway, so that's my opinion on this short. You're allowed to disagree with me or whatever, but highly recommend it if for some bizarre reason you're watching this, you haven't seen it. It looks great. I almost like want a sequel, but there's no reason for it. I think it does the fairy tale justice, even if there's some things about it I really don't like. But please go watch it, and thank you for watching this video. And bye. God bless.